Hi, I'm John Shipp, and this is my analysis of Room in New York by Edward Hopper. Room in New York depicts a man and a woman, presumably a couple, sitting at home in a furnished living room in a building at night. This painting follows the artist's common theme of picturing common people in seemingly ordinary situations, but I think there's more to the story. Room in New York shows the viewer a huge window into the lives of the American couple, both literally and figuratively. We assume that a large pane separates us from the couple, yet the window is invisible, and we are invisible to the man and woman, unaware that anyone is looking at them, interpreting their scene and making commentary. Hopper placed the man near the center of the picture, as the man was often the center of the family scene in 1932 when the painting was made. Business was coming back in New York, emerging from the Great Depression, having gone through the stock market crash in 1929. The man has his nose in the newspaper. In fact, his nose is lit, perhaps as if to emphasize this. The woman, presumably his wife, has her upper torso facing away from him, but her legs facing toward him, both paying attention to him and also put off. They both have their heads down with their face in shadow and are not looking at each other, a melancholy mood just after an argument. The table and the door are the same color. The table is placed between the couple, and the table for discussion appears to be about staying in or going out. The woman presumably put the doily on the table. She wants the discussion to be polite. The man wants to stay in and read the paper. His newspaper casts a shadow on the table, casting a shadow on the discussion, and the shadow almost touches the doily, encroaching on the woman's intended politeness. She has a finger on the piano key, wanting to distract him from an otherwise quiet scene. She might be sending him a note to send a new tone. There are elephants in the room. There's a large elephant head shape with the two pictures as the eyes and the door as the trunk, truncated at the bottom under the table. The man and the woman would each be tusks, the elephant's weapons for fighting, with the man's right arm sawing a tusk with the newspaper as the saw, poaching the relationship, sawing the ivory of the couple to make money instead of preserving the integrity of the whole animal, the couple. The pillar outside on the far left of the painting also resembles an elephant's foot. Here are more elephant shapes from the painting. To the left of the man is a ladder. He is focused on climbing the corporate ladder. The outside ledge makes a 90-degree turn at the bottom of the ladder. Perhaps the man is afraid of the gangplank waiting at the bottom of the business hierarchy. Next to the woman is a large door. The woman is closer to the door than the man. She wants to go out on the town and have fun. She is dressed up like she intended for them to go out on the town that night. The woman has pale skin. She does not get outside much. The man is very tan. He goes out all the time. The man has a part in his hair, a role to play in the outside world. The woman's hair is kept, and so is she. The woman is dressed in a fancy dress, the red color symbolizing her passion and emotions, as well as her wanting to spend time with her husband. He is dressed in black and white, the same as the newspaper and the piano. Matter of fact, all business. The husband is physically between the ladder and the door, between business and romance. The wife is physically and in thought on the side of the door. The man is sitting on the red chair, which is symbolic of the woman in red, and he is sitting on her wishes. She is striking a note on the black and white piano, him, to show how she wishes to break the silence and distract him with a sound, and also to show how her method of communicating with him is to timidly play him like an instrument. His apparent method is to more physically sit on her. The lampshade is also red, maybe to say that she is the source of light and fun in the relationship. There are two paintings on the wall. The painting above the man has a frame painted the same color as his hair, and the picture could represent the man's thoughts. It is a vague scene, a vast landscape with the skyline like a stock market chart showing how the businesses were recently down from the great crash of 1929, but now appear on the rise. The man is thinking about succeeding in business and being wealthy. The picture above the man is the only object in the painting that does not touch anything else in the picture except the wall. The man's thoughts appear to be isolated, and he is not open to the woman's opinions. The picture on the right by the woman has a black frame like the woman's hair and seems to be a barely discernible picture of a couple representing them, and is a very dark picture in color and in mood. The woman's opinion of them as a couple might not be as bright as the man's thoughts of business achievements. The man is farther from his picture, and his picture is larger, perhaps blown out of proportion. The woman's head overlaps the small picture near her. She might be closer to the truth, and might have a more realistic view of things. However, the picture near the man is above the woman's picture, and larger, as if to say business trumps the couple in the man's eyes. If the man were a face, the paintings would be the eyes, and the people would be the tears of their own dreams. The bow on the back of the woman's red dress is located exactly where a doorknob should be on the door. The woman thought that making the effort to get all dressed up should have won him over, and it would have been her ticket to getting through the front door, but the door is closed and there is no doorknob. The door is taller than a normal door, and without a doorknob and closed, it resembles another ladder, emphasizing the 2 points of the argument. The outside ladder is perpendicular to the man and resembles an open door that appears open to the man but nowhere near the woman. The business door was open to men, and unfortunately not much to women in 1932 New York. The top of the outside ladder is not visible. The man does not know how high he can climb in the corporate ladder, and the future is uncertain. We also don't know what floor of the building the room occupies, which might indicate how far up their success has climbed. The viewer might be looking at them from the ground floor, or from a moving train, or from another nearby building which is many, many floors up. The elevation might be ambiguous to represent that anyone could be in this situation, whether they are near the bottom or near the top of financial success. Edward Hopper emphasizes that Room in New York is a story about gender roles using the people's arms and hands. The woman's right hand resembles male anatomy, and the 2 fingers of her left hand show female anatomy. The right arm symbolizes the man, and the left arm symbolizes the woman in both people to help tell the story. The woman's posture is with her left arm bent, coming underneath her right arm, a symbol that she thinks they should be together as a couple and doing activities together. The woman shows her idea of the man with her right arm, her elbow on the table. The elbow shows that he's being rude to not take her opinion into account. Her right index finger on the piano is also pointing accusingly at the black and white piano, which represents the man. "Are you a man or a mouse?" she asks him. And here's my drawing of the piano as a mouse, using lines from Room in New York. The mouse is contending with the elephant in the room. Looking at the man's arms and right hand, the man's left arm is barely visible in the picture, perhaps to say the woman does not have a vote in the matter, in the man's opinion. The posture of the man shows both arms appear parallel to each other, each grasping the newspaper. The arms of the man do not come together physically, and the left hand is totally hidden, which might also symbolize that the woman does not have the same access to business, and the man does not think she has a say in whether to go out tonight or not. The first 2 fingers of the man's right hand are separated by the newspaper. If the man represents the middle finger, defiance, and the woman as the index finger, accusing, this would also indicate that business has come between the couple. The man is sitting in a crouch on the chair which represents the woman, squashing what the woman wants to do, squelching her physically and figuratively. The woman has a straighter posture, also curved, conforming somewhat to the piano, and she intends to interrupt the silence with a note on the piano. She appears to want to take his attention away from the paper and back to the possible discussion at hand. Her argument is with sound, possibly to portray that women tend to be more verbal. His argument is silent and with physical force, the stereotypical man. Her physical motion of playing a key on the piano seems to be gentle and with finesse, a possible piano key to open the door to the outside. Hopper appears to have painted hidden shapes of other animals in Room in New York besides the mouse and elephant to help illustrate the scene. The man looks a bit like a penguin, black and white, being cold to his wife and leaving them both in a frigid atmosphere. The light part of the woman's neck and side of her face makes the shape of a lioness head. The red chair, which also seems to represent the woman, forms a lioness paw, a left paw even, looking like it's about to squeeze some sense into the man. The couple each make the head of a fish, facing away from each other, at odds and unconnected, save for the table of discussion. The black frame of the painting on the far left is close to, but does not quite line up with the black steps of the ladder, and we look at the lines like we look at the room as an aquarium. The vertical bars behind the ladder would represent oxygen fed into the aquarium. The man's job is what feeds the couple financially, but the woman argues there's a social aspect of a relationship that is needed beyond paying bills. Room in New York also shows the shape of a larger fish on the left side, with the man and chair as the mouth and the arms as fangs. The man is armed, so to speak. He's crouched forward in the position of driving a car with both hands on the wheel, the newspaper, telling him which direction various businesses are going. He's also in the posture of firing a machine gun at the woman with the newspaper and table as the gun. The woman is more old-fashioned. She's riding side saddle like she's riding on a horse, and she is still ahead of him, both headed to the right. She holds a two-handed sword as the table to fight back. She is bearing arms literally and figuratively. The word room has many definitions to help give several possible meanings to the title of Hopper's Room in New York. It is a physical space, lodging, and the persons present in New York City. It is a space occupied and also space available, or opportunity. The man can improve and move up in business, and there's also room for improvement in the couple's relationship. In mining, a room is a working area cut between two pillars of earth. It appears to be yet another pat definition. One pillar is visible on the left of the painting and next to the outside ladder, holding up the building, as well as maybe holding up the status of the couple in society, closely tied in with business and the corporate ladder. The man's decision to stay in and study the newspaper instead of going out with his wife and having a good time may have created a new low in their relationship, mining so far down that the couple is underwater. There are hints with the shape of a fish and an aquarium, but the couple could also be a mermaid and merman, as both people have their legs together, and they could have a tail fin instead of feet. Their fins or feet are hidden, and so they have no means to leave, and the couple is stuck in the room for the evening. I created this definition of multi-referencing to show a pattern I noticed in many artworks. In my opinion, Hopper multi-references these artists and film stills from these movies. You can see specific examples of multi-referencing in my first 5 episodes of Art Analysis by John R. Shipp. Thank you for watching.